With the women's college basketball regular season coming to a close, The Athletic names JuJu Watkins as Unanimous National Player of the Year, Paige Bueckers rises to first team All-American, and Texas secures that #1 spot. You guys, March Madness is officially here and there is so much to go over, so let's jump right in. What's up, you guys? I'm DeMita and welcome to the Courtside Club. I am finally back in Texas. I had so much travel the last couple weeks and I can't even lie to you guys. I'm a little jet lagged, but I'm happy to be back. It's kind of crazy here. However, we have a red flag alert. I didn't even know what that was. So essentially high danger for fires today. The winds have been crazy. I was actually scared that I was going to lose power because a lot of other places in Texas have lost power today, but luckily we are all good so far. So with that, you guys, I know that it has been a little bit slow with the uploads. I was traveling the past couple weeks, but I have been working really hard behind the scenes to secure a couple more interviews for you guys. It's a weird time with WNBA off season. I feel like there's not too much going on right now. There's not too much news. And then obviously with March Madness ramping up, I am so excited for the tournament. So for this video, you guys, I wanted to kind of give you the updates on what's going on in women's college basketball at this time. Let's talk about the National Player of the Year candidates. Let's talk about the All-Americans. Let's break down some film. Let's do it all. So firstly, let's start with one of the top stories over the past 48 hours, and that is JuJu Watkins being named Unanimous National Player of the Year by The Athletic. It says USC sophomore JuJu Watkins has earned a significant accolade in her second season as a Trojan in being selected as The Athletic's National Player of the Year. She was the outlet's Freshman of the Year pick last season and has since helped USC win the Big Ten regular season championship while picking up 8 straight victories over AP-ranked opponents. Now, JuJu is having an outstanding season this year. We have talked about her multiple times on this channel, and I think the reason that this story was so highly talked about is because she won National Player of the Year, again awarded by The Athletic unanimously. And a lot of people were wondering why Hannah Hidalgo, you guys know that we had her on the show, I'm a huge fan of Hannah, why she didn't receive any of the votes. It seemed like maybe there was a little bit of bias, or maybe there was a storyline that The Athletic was trying to follow, and this is no knock to JuJu at all. I do actually think JuJu has ended the season very strong, and she has ended the season better than Hannah has, and her team has also ended the season better than Notre Dame, but that's not to say that Hannah doesn't deserve any votes in that, and I think that there's a case to be made for each of these women as who actually deserves National Player of the Year. Both of them have had outstanding seasons, but you just have to take into account the recency bias of unanimously awarding it to JuJu Watkins. Now, there's also something to say with the fact that Notre Dame actually did beat USC and Hannah had a crazy game against them. But with that, you guys, I don't want to take away from JuJu's award, and we have talked about JuJu quite a bit on this channel, but I don't think we've broken down film of her yet. So I wanted to go over one of her biggest games that she had throughout the entire season, and that was a game against UCLA. Now, this was the game that was on February 13th, not the most recent game, but in this game, she had 38 points, 11 rebounds, 8 blocks, 5 assists. She was 6 for 9 from 3 and 12 for 26 from field goal. The stat line is just insane, but I wanted to break down this film for you guys and watch some of JuJu's highlights.
I appreciate it, Katie. You gotta think there's gonna be some adjustments defensively. Gets the rebound, no one stops her.
So one thing that people love about JuJu's game is she does also play on both sides of the court. That's something that Hannah Hidalgo does as well. As you can see, she has a little stutter step here to a 3, in and out to a little long range 2. She's going down court here, keeps her dribble for a long 3. And JuJu just has such a smooth style of play. I don't want this to sound any type of way, but she plays like a guy. Like, I see a Carmelo Anthony, I see a Kobe style of play in JuJu Watkins.
She's getting everything.
Like, you see the little Kobe there, like the fadeaway J with her leg out.
Needs to move the basketball. Watkins just
To the
too
corner for another three. I want them to show more of her blocks. She had 8 blocks in this game, which is crazy. She has a steal here, looking up the court.
Like, there is no opening.
Downhill to the basket, left-hand layup. Should have been an and one. And here you can see JuJu on the wing.
She just elevates
I would say when it comes to one-on-one defense, like, she is probably the hardest player to guard one-on-one. Her bag offensively is very deep.
Watkins calls it down.
She really handles the ball well. She's really strong.
Freshman, 2 down here with that. Little handoff to
There's one of her blocks there. That's what I was looking for.
I was staying silent for a reason. Jones trying to
There's another. I think what she does really well when it comes to blocking shots, it's so much about your body awareness, and you'll see with a lot of great defenders, sometimes they'll actually let their player get past them a little bit, and this is a risky move to do if you let your player get past, because it's easier to kind of block from behind if you have that length, and that is something that JuJu continues to do. It's a risky move, but when it pays off, it's definitely obviously great momentum for the team, and as you can see here, she takes it to the basket.
point game. Tremendous post defense.
Going down court, good look here.
Area fed the other way.
These USC UCLA games, by the way, look insane, like actually insane. And as you can see here, she blocks Lauren Betts' shots, and Lauren Betts is much taller than JuJu, but that again is just having awareness and being able to use your body so that you don't foul the player. And there she goes again, blocking Lauren Betts from behind. And that right there is off-ball defense. That's not necessarily her guarding her man. A lot of these blocks have also come from her coming off the ball. And so that's great awareness on defense. That's something I think that she does very well. She's strong. She's able to get in there, get the steals, and then obviously her offensive bag is endless. So with that, you guys, I also want to go over who the Athletic named to their All-American team. So on first team, obviously, they have JuJu Watkins. She's averaging 24.4 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, and 3.6 assists. Lauren Betts at UCLA, she is averaging 19.7 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, and 2.7 assists. And then we have Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame. She is averaging 24.2 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 3.6 steals per game. Now, we talked about that with Hannah in the interview. If you guys haven't checked out that interview, then make sure that you go listen to it. It's a good chat. I really enjoyed it. But we talked about Hannah's defense and how much pride she takes on the defensive end, and she's averaging 3.6 steals per game, which is wild. Sorry guys, editing rad here, but I wanted to mention that T'Nia Latson was left off of this first team All-American team, and a lot of fans were wondering why. She is the leading scorer in the country right now. She is averaging 25.4 points per game. The only reason that I can think of as to why she was left off of this first team All-American team is because Florida State is currently ranked 22nd. Now, all of the players in the Athletics top 5, they are on high-ranking teams. All of these teams did really well this season. But if you are talking about individual accolades and just placing players based on their individual play, there is an argument to be made as to why T'Nia Latson should be in that top 5. Next, we have Paige Bueckers at UConn. She's averaging 18.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 4.9 assists, and 2 steals. And then Madison Booker at Texas, and she's averaging 16 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, 2.9 assists. Now, Texas is a team that I feel like from the media side has been flying so far under the radar, because obviously the biggest stories this year, and this was written out before the season even started, it was Paige Bueckers and JuJu Watkins. Those are the 2 biggest names right now in women's college basketball. And so a lot of the media has pretty much been following those 2 teams. Obviously, we've seen the rivalries. We've seen Notre Dame come up with Hannah Hidalgo, with Olivia Miles, with Sonia Citron. We've seen UCLA be at the top of the rankings for most of the season, and Lauren Betts obviously having a killer season. But Texas is a team that I feel like they are still, even though they are now ranked number 1 team in the nation, they are still flying under the radar. So let's look at their rankings as they stand right now. Now, again, you guys, the tournament starts in just a few weeks. We have Selection Sunday, I believe, in like a week and a half. We will find out where all of these teams will be placed in the bracket. But Texas is number 1, USC is number 2, UConn is number 3. Now, they have worked their way back because there was a point in time that I was like, I don't even know if UConn's going to stay in the top 10 if they continue to play the way that they were. They had a couple bad losses, but they have found a way to turn it around towards the end of the season. Paige Bueckers is also starting to play better towards the end of the season. Then we have UCLA at 4, South Carolina 5, Notre Dame 6, NC State 7, TCU 8, LSU 9, and Oklahoma 10. This March Madness, I'm calling it right now, this tournament that we are going to see this year, I feel like any team, maybe 1 through 8, has a chance to win this whole thing. It is such a toss-up for me if we talk about Texas, USC, UConn, UCLA, South Carolina, Notre Dame. TCU is a sleeper team also. Haley Van Lith has been going off lately. Like, it's kind of crazy how much these rankings have flip-flopped throughout the season. The women's tournament is going to be more exciting than the men's this year, and I know that last year, obviously, there was such a huge emphasis on Caitlin Clark, on that Iowa team. They made it back to the national championship. South Carolina had their undefeated season. This tournament is going to be super hype. Also, you guys let me know in the comments below if you want me to fill out a bracket. Maybe I do it on live. Maybe we do it together. Now, before we move on from the National Player of the Year conversation, I do want to one more time go over some Hannah Hidalgo highlights. Hannah Hidalgo had such an outstanding season, and it does bother me that she doesn't get as much media play as I would hope for. She is one of the top 2 best players in the country right now, and I don't know why that she's just not getting covered more than she is. She's such an exciting player. I do want to go over some of her highlights when she played against USC. They brought home the win against USC at USC, and she had 24 points in that game. So let's watch some of her highlights. So Olivia Miles with the backdoor pass, Hannah Hidalgo.
Notre Dame the other way. Doing a really nice job defensively on
Again, long 2-pointer between the legs. It's a nice backdoor cut there. I wonder if they have some of her defensive highlights in here too, if it's only offense. Olivia Miles with the good steal, cross-court pass to the corner for 3. This Notre Dame team also, they're so scary. If they're really flowing, this is a team that I've said it from the beginning, they could go all the way. 2 free throws here.
Less than a minute to go here in the first half. The crowd starts to stand up.
And the fact that Hannah Hidalgo, she is undersized. She's listed as 5'6", but and then she has a steal here that goes to her 3.6 steals per game. Going full court, pull up at the elbow. But one thing about her being undersized and being able to do the kind of things that she is and even get into the paint and score in the paint the way that she does, to me, is just super impressive. And here we are right here taking it all the way to the hoop. So you guys let me know in the comments below, who do you think deserves National Player of the Year? Is it JuJu Watkins? Is it hands down unanimous JuJu? We shouldn't even be arguing it. Or do you think that Hannah Hidalgo deserves some of those votes as well? And lastly, you guys, before I let you go, our girl Lucy Olson, who has also been on the show, she was actually just named to the Big Ten first team all Big Ten selection. Now, of course, you guys, also on this list, we have JuJu Watkins, we have Lauren Betts, but it was so cool to see Lucy Olson on this list. We talked to her about her season at Iowa, and she just expressed the fact that she maybe struggled a little bit throughout the season, but she really found her groove. I would love to see Iowa make the tournament. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. You guys also let me know in the comments if you think that Iowa will make the tournament. Let me know all your thoughts on the players this year. What team will you guys be rooting for in this tournament? I think it's going to be so exciting and so much fun. And I think that's all that I have for you today. Thank you again so much for watching. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week, and I promise you guys there will be more videos to come. Sorry for the delay, but we have been working behind the scenes, and fingers crossed we have some good interviews coming up for you guys soon. Stay tuned for that. A lot more to come, and I'll see you guys next time. Uyena.